Picture this. Every day, you're balancing on a thin wire stretched high above chaos, each step calculated to avoid tumbling into the turbulence below. That's the exhausting reality of dealing with someone who consistently dismisses your feelings, undermines your thoughts, or refuses to see things from your perspective. It's emotionally draining, isn't it? But what if there was a way to handle these interactions without losing yourself in the process? A way to stay grounded and maintain your peace, no matter how difficult the other person may be. The answer lies in Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that equips you with tools to navigate even the most challenging relationships with clarity and resilience. Today, I'll show you how to communicate effectively with difficult personalities while safeguarding your sense of self. These strategies are rooted in timeless wisdom from philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Aristotle. Thinkers who understood human nature deeply and offered practical guidance for living well. Their teachings remind us that we can't control others' actions, but we can control our responses. And when applied thoughtfully, these principles can save you time, preserve your emotional energy, and redefine the boundaries in your relationships for the better. If you value the insights I'm about to share, here's my simple request. Hit that subscribe button. Why? Because if you're here, you're not content with merely reacting to life. You're someone who seeks mastery over both situations and yourself. You understand that true strength comes not from controlling others, but from mastering your own reactions. Now, let's address something many of us have felt tempted to do: labeling someone as a narcissist or accusing them of toxic behavior. While it might feel satisfying in the moment, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. In other words, our labels often shape our experience more than the actual behavior does. Calling someone out harshly rarely inspires change. It usually triggers defensiveness, making matters worse. Carl Jung put it beautifully. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. When we react strongly to someone's behavior, it often reveals more about our own triggers and boundaries than about the person themselves. Instead of focusing on labels, Stoicism encourages you to direct your attention inward to what you can control. As Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the opinions they form about them. By letting go of judgmental language and responding with wisdom and detachment, you create space for constructive dialogue. Here's how to apply this. Instead of accusing someone of being selfish or manipulative, focus on specific behaviors and their impact. For example, replace "you're a narcissist" with "when you interrupt me during conversations, I feel unheard and frustrated." This approach invites reflection rather than defensiveness, fostering mutual understanding. Aristotle's concept of the golden mean, finding balance between extremes, is key here. Strive for honest communication tempered with emotional restraint, creating opportunities for growth for both parties involved. Gaslighting is another common tactic used by individuals with manipulative tendencies. They distort reality to make you doubt your perceptions or sanity. Confronting them directly by accusing them of gaslighting often backfires, triggering defensiveness rather than insight. Here again, Stoicism provides guidance. We cannot control others' perceptions or actions, only our responses. Epictetus wisely observed, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Rather than engaging in conflict, focus on maintaining your composure and protecting your inner peace. Acknowledge your emotions privately, then express them clearly without attacking the other person's character. Say, "When you tell me I'm overreacting, I feel confused and invalidated." By centering the conversation on your experience rather than assigning blame, you retain control over your mental state and avoid getting entangled in their manipulative tactics. At its core, Stoicism teaches self-mastery. Instead of trying to change others, focus on what you can influence: your words, your reactions, and your mindset. Choose your language carefully, address specific behaviors rather than personalities, and engage with resilience. Over time, these practices will transform your relationships and help you cultivate a life anchored in clarity, wisdom, and inner strength. This isn't just about managing difficult people. It's about reclaiming your energy, protecting your peace, and becoming the architect of your responses. With Stoic principles as your guide, you'll navigate even the toughest interactions with grace and confidence. When faced with gaslighting, a situation where someone attempts to distort your perception of reality, it's natural to feel the urge to confront them directly and accuse them of manipulation. However, this approach often backfires, escalating tensions and causing the other person to double down on their false narrative. A more effective strategy is to step back, listen intently, and observe without reacting impulsively. By doing so, you anchor yourself in your truth, refusing to be swept away by their distorted version of events. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that while we cannot control external circumstances, we hold dominion over our minds. Your strength lies not in trying to reshape someone else's skewed perspective, but in safeguarding your clarity and inner resolve. Gaslighting thrives on sowing doubt, but its power diminishes when you steadfastly cling to your truth. Carl Jung adds depth to this idea, emphasizing that understanding our own shadows equips us to handle the darkness in others. Rather than focusing on the manipulator's behavior, turn inward. Examine your emotional triggers and cultivate self-awareness. This will empower you to respond with calm resilience rather than reactive impulsivity. The Socratic method offers another powerful tool. Instead of leveling accusations, ask thoughtful, open-ended questions about inconsistencies in their words or actions. This invites reflection, allowing them to recognize contradictions on their own terms. Such an approach fosters constructive dialogue and avoids unnecessary conflict, paving the way for resolution rather than resistance. From a Stoic lens, the emphasis shifts from controlling others to mastering yourself. Your true power resides in how you choose to react, not in attempting to change someone else. By preserving your peace of mind and avoiding fruitless arguments, you protect your mental well-being and maintain your integrity. Remember, your response defines your strength, not their behavior. On change and growth, it's easy to grow frustrated when it feels like someone will never evolve, especially after repeated disappointments. The temptation may arise to declare, "You'll never change," hoping to provoke transformation. Yet from a Stoic perspective, this is counterproductive. Labeling someone as unchangeable creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing stagnation instead of fostering growth. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions and reactions, rather than attempting to dictate the paths of others. While it's human to desire immediate change, impermanence reminds us that evolution unfolds unpredictably. Stay open to possibility without clinging rigidly to expectations. Encourage positive shifts through patience and example, addressing specific behaviors rather than attacking someone's character. For instance, calmly explain how their actions impact you and articulate your needs clearly. This approach inspires progress without undermining their dignity or provoking defensiveness. Navigating narcissistic dynamics. Interacting with individuals who display narcissistic tendencies requires wisdom and restraint. Declaring them irredeemable or vowing never to forgive only entangles you further in negativity. A Stoic mindset advocates balance. Acknowledge reality without succumbing to despair. You needn't adopt naivety or expect miracles, but remain open to incremental growth for both yourself and others. Central to Stoicism is the practice of maintaining equanimity amidst challenges. External chaos should never dictate your internal state. Align your responses with your values, ensuring they reflect virtue rather than reactivity. Wrongdoing must be addressed, but with composure and purpose. By embodying these principles, you live harmoniously within yourself and alongside others, fostering environments conducive to mutual respect and growth. Through Stoic philosophy, we learn that true power comes from within. It's not about forcing outcomes or changing others. It's about cultivating resilience, embracing impermanence, and responding with grace. In every interaction, let your actions speak louder than words, setting an example worth following. Navigating forgiveness in the context of narcissistic behavior can be an intricate dance, but the Stoic philosophy offers a timeless guide to mastering it. Rather than framing forgiveness as a binary choice, granting or withholding, it becomes a tool for cultivating inner tranquility. Marcus Aurelius, a towering figure among Stoics, urged us to be lenient with others while holding ourselves to a higher standard. This wisdom underscores that forgiveness isn't about excusing someone else's actions. It's about safeguarding our own peace of mind. By resisting the urge to react impulsively with anger or resentment, we protect ourselves from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies not in the events themselves, but in how we respond to them. Instead of engaging in a heated exchange over forgiveness, we can rise above by nurturing emotional resilience. Choosing silence or emotional distance doesn't mean ignoring wrongdoing. It means prioritizing our healing without needing validation from the other party. Seneca captured this beautifully. To err is human, to forgive divine. While Stoicism doesn't mandate unconditional forgiveness, it encourages responding with grace and maturity, rooted in understanding rather than vengeance or control. Aristotle's concept of the golden mean provides further clarity here. Striking a balance between extremes, clinging to grudges indefinitely or forgiving prematurely, is essential. True forgiveness involves acknowledging the pain caused while avoiding entrapment and bitterness. It's about finding equilibrium between compassion and detachment, fostering healing without letting negativity consume us. From a psychological perspective, Carl Jung's insights resonate deeply. He emphasized integrating our shadow, the darker aspects of ourselves and others that we'd rather avoid confronting. In dealing with narcissistic behavior, this means recognizing harm done without rushing to judgment or escalating conflict. Such self-awareness cultivates emotional maturity and transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. One powerful Stoic practice is silent forgiveness, or what might better be called emotional liberation. This approach doesn't dismiss the hurt inflicted upon us, but reframes it as something we no longer allow to define us. By accepting what has happened, setting firm boundaries, and focusing on our well-being, we reclaim agency over our inner world. Forgiveness, then, becomes less about the other person and more about freeing ourselves from their influence. Ultimately, Stoicism frames forgiveness as a personal decision, one that shapes our internal landscape far more than it impacts external dynamics. Clinging to resentment may feel momentarily empowering, but often sows seeds of inner chaos. By embracing emotional detachment and striving for serenity, we loosen the grip of others' actions on our psyche. Strength and calm emerge when we prioritize our emotional health, even amidst complex relationships. In every interaction, the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation light the way forward. These principles remind us to act with integrity, nurturing personal growth while preserving inner peace. Each relationship becomes a canvas for practicing these values, deepening our resilience and expanding our capacity for understanding. The path to navigating life's challenges and its people with clarity and composure begins within you. With each thoughtful response, let your actions reflect the enduring wisdom of Stoicism, guiding you toward greater harmony and strength.